The Line is a linear metropolis that will be constructed within Neom in the northwest of Saudi Arabia on a size of just 34 square kilometers. In the future, the metropolis hopes to house more than 9 million residents. By reflecting the surrounding landscape, the city appears to vanish into the background. The line will operate on entirely renewable energy with 95% of the area preserved for nature, greatly reducing the environmental impact of the transportation network. The city was planned with residents' health and happiness in mind, rather than with vehicular traffic and infrastructure in mind. Welcome to Billionista. If you love videos about luxury living, please subscribe and click the bell so you never miss a video. And don't forget to like and share too. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman revealed the line's precise blueprints in July of 2022. He suggested building two glass skyscrapers, each 500 meters tall, in parallel across the desert for a total distance of 170 kilometers. That's the same as if you were to make two parallel lines, each containing 2,000 of the One World Trade Center. The line is the most ambitious infrastructure plan in history. It's a brand new lifestyle. Everything you might require would be within a 5-minute walk of your location, and cars would be prohibited from the city center. All of the power would come from solar and wind farms, and all of the water would be sourced from a desalination plant that produces no carbon dioxide emissions. A zero-carbon city. The line would be the result of all of these efforts. The proposition was met with a combination of amazement, mistrust, and astonishment. Even though the trailers were viewed millions of times across various online platforms, very little was known about the actual progress being made on the building site. This led the general public to conclude that the line was nothing more than an elaborate hoax. But then, about 3 months after Mohammed bin Salman was introduced, events took an unexpected turn. The building process. Drone footage of the worksite was released by OT Sky on October 19, 2022. Dozens of excavators can be seen in the film excavating trenches along the desert, which will become the line's base. By the looks of the drone footage, the dig has progressed quite a ways inland. It's unclear how far it extends, although the mountains in the distance may be within striking distance. The line, as depicted on the actual rulebook on Neom's website, begins at this harbor and passes between these mountains, and scenery and the background sea give away the likely location of the footage. With this in mind, the length of the excavations might be up to 20 kilometers. Additionally, supporting infrastructure is being constructed. Numerous new constructions can be seen on Google Maps. A Neom community with a football field and swimming pools, as well as a Neom Experience Center, are all located on the same site near the mountains as offices and campgrounds. In light of the fact that these pictures are so out of date, it's safe to assume that there are now many more. Now that actual construction has begun, what would be the result? Nothing else even comes close to this elsewhere on Earth. Because of this, we are left to wonder what will occur. Still, we may classify the outcomes into 3 broad categories. One possibility is that the line's construction will end in a few months to a few years if no one moves in. It could become another unfinished building, like the Jeddah Tower or Dubai Creek Tower. Both cases included visually spectacular depictions and held out high hopes for the future. Buildings had begun, and progress appeared to be making progress. However, beyond that point, all activity ceased and no further development has occurred. Since the line has the support of a whole nation and has attracted widespread international attention, this seems unlikely. If the project can be brought even near to completion, it might be a terrific way to attract more visitors and investment to Saudi Arabia. The alternative is for Saudi Arabia to invest massively in its existing ambitions, and for the government to actually accomplish what it promised in its trailers over the next few decades. Some of these ideas are more plausible than others, but eliminating vehicles, using only renewable energy, and adopting the concept of vertical living is all within the realm of possibility. However, the enormity of the undertaking makes success seem impossible. The line is expected to be as tall as One World Trade Center, which took around 8 years to build. Saudi Arabia, however, plans to construct a structure of comparable height but 170 kilometers in length, and they believe that this time frame is still feasible. It would be the equivalent of erecting a row of 2001 World Trade Centers. It would be equivalent to constructing 4,000 such lines, and there are 2 of them in this project. If we were to multiply their ages by 8, we'd get 32,000 years. Naturally, Saudi Arabia would construct them far more quickly because they could begin working on many components simultaneously. However, this does show the scope of the project. If we're being realistic, we're looking at centuries of work here. For comparison, the Three Gorges Dam in China took almost 40,000 people 17 years to build. It stands at a modest 180 meters tall and 2.3 kilometers in length, making it a little speck next to the line. However, there is a third outcome. Because construction has already begun, perhaps both sides can come to an agreement. We started off by wondering if this would be the greatest megaproject in human history or the biggest building blunder in history. However, perhaps there is yet another choice. It's feasible for Saudi Arabia to construct, but not at the impractical scale the country has proposed. The line is constructed in sections that can be completed in 5 minutes on foot, making it possible to piece together the entire megaproject gradually. They could easily add more length if it was required to meet demand. The project's feasibility and manageability would be greatly improved if the line's height could be modified. Even if the building were just 50% as tall, the idea of vertical living would still hold, and all of the same amenities could be included. The line, even if developed on a smaller scale, may create the first modern metropolis without cars and usher in a new era of urban planning. There are many global efforts underway to reduce vehicle use in urban areas. However, these efforts have only focused on reducing car use rather than eliminating cars entirely. Attempts to alter the car-centric nature of most large cities would be extraordinarily challenging. They have a clean slate with the line. To the best of our knowledge, this may be the first major metropolis in the 21st century in which not a single car trip is taken. The majority of a neighborhood's services and conveniences should be within easy walking distance of one another. If it doesn't work out, a proposed subterranean railway system can be used for longer trips along the entire line. By the time the first residents move in, anticipated for the year 2030, they may be able to experience the envisaged high-tech civilization, albeit on a far more modest scale. So Billionistas, which of these possible outcomes do you think will prevail? Let me know in the comments. That's it for this time. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.